think first is don't assume things. I know that it's kind of negative, don't, but I think that a lot of unsafety, even with good intentions, starts from assumptions that you know this person and you know how they feel, or they know what they need, or you know like what's best for them. And I think that even with good intentions, it can actually go really, really wrong. So for me, it's about don't make assumptions about people and what they need and what they want. Just ask them, ask open questions. And in many ways, in safe ways and surveys, in listening sessions and focus group and interviews between managers and employees. So encourage these open conversations, encourage this idea of, okay, I ask and I take your response. I'm here to listen. So this is one. The second is actually connected really to the first one. It's listen actively, right? So because it's a lot of the things that you assume they're going really well, that you've got everything, so they might be very different, but you need to listen very actively to be able to understand them, and so how people really feel, how people feel in this particular meeting, for instance, or how they feel talking to someone, or how they feel dealing with something, and so on and so forth. So I think this idea of like listening to feedback, given an opportunity for this feedback, and then doing something with that, like addressing it and acknowledging that. I think that the big part of it is also acknowledgement of problem, right? So when you actually get back to people and say, oh yeah, we heard this and this is what we hear, and this is really, it's happening, even though you don't have a solution to that right now, right? You need to acknowledge things and you need to make commitments, and you need to move yourself. If we talk leaders, like how we move leaders from being part of the problem to the part of the solution. So that's also an important thing. And here I'm not even like touching their really basic things, right? So we're not talking basic things, because if it's about discrimination, if it's about any way that people feel unsafe already, and they need to have a way to report it. They need to have a safe way. But we're not touching this because I think that this is, in many organizations, this is what was already done, right? So, and we are talking about more like nuanced psychological safety in certain interactions and certain in the way people have an opportunity to speak up, for instance, or in the meetings or at work in principle, right? So how they communicate to each other, how they communicate to leaders, how they feel trusted as well, right? So how they trust others, those more nuanced things. So I think that a lot of learnings about how to do that, it comes from the feedback. It comes from listening before acting, before assuming, before jumping on things. I think this is the key thing.